Hey, y'all. This guy. Matt. Matt Massa Beers. Inside joke there. Matt Massa Beers. Back with a little bit of non-alcoholic beer review stuff. Yeah, we're getting to it. We're getting through it. I did not review as many non-alcoholic beers as I thought I would. Just didn't. I don't know. Just didn't get down with it. But we're still chugging through. It is the 26th of January, so we only have 5 days left in dry January. Maybe I'll just kind of pump out the rest of the beers that I've reviewed and try to get them done in this month, maybe. Who knows? We'll see what's what. But there were a couple specific beers that I really wanted to get in here. A couple of them I actually drank and never reviewed, so such is life. But one of them is this beer, which I've had before. That be your Sam Adams Just a Haze. It's a hazy, juicy, non-alcoholic IPA from Sam Adams. Yeah, this is pretty readily available across all shelves. When it comes to kind of non-alcoholic beers, I pretty much see it everywhere I go. And it was actually one of the beers that I wouldn't say it was like really kind of chomping at the bit to dive into when this originally happened, but I was just curious about it because it's always like, a lot of these classic kind of beers you have when it comes to non-alcoholic beers tend to be like classic styles beers, kind of just base kind of lagerish kind of stuff, Pilsner kind of stuff, porter kind of stuff like that. Sure, there's a lot more of newer stuff nowadays, especially with the Two Roots and Athletics and all those breweries of the world kind of pumping out all these kind of beers. But I was really trying to hunt down like a really good hazy IPA. Spoiler alert, this beer is really good. So there you go. You don't have to watch anymore. You can click it off. So we can do whatever we want. We're not going to follow a specific format anymore in these beer reviews. I had to do this. I had to get this beer. Now, there has been some variants with this beer. I will say that. This is a brand new six-pack that I picked up. I've ripped through a bunch of these six-packs over my dry holidays and dry January. And as you can see, that's a really nice hazy color. It probably comes off a little bit darker than what you'd expect from a traditional hazy, but that's really more that I'm in this darker room. I kind of need to get a light somewhere around here, kind of, because if I get like really close to the camera, you see how dark it gets. Some kind of light to just illuminate just this area, make the beers look a little bit nicer for you all, but it really does have this classic kind of really well done hazy IPA look. So when I poured this originally, I was like, okay, maybe we're something on here because it's Sam Adams. They know about beer. Yeah, what do they say about this sucker on here? Old guy can't read without with his glasses on. It says, this Sam Adams non-alcoholic brew. We remove the alcohol slowly and gently, leaving all the rich flavor of a world-class IPA. It's hazy, it's hoppy, and brewed with pride and attention to detail. Cheers. Sam Adams is very late to the hazy IPA game. In general, I mean, Jim Koch is on record saying he really just didn't even want to brew them, and then eventually kind of gave in and started brewing a couple different beers. Rebel Raw was their biggest kind of, venture into big old hazies. That beer was quite delicious. And then I forget what the name of the other one was. There was another Raw, but I don't think it was Rebel Raw or something like that. But there's a bunch now out in the market. Minus that original Rebel Raw and a couple of the OG ones, I really haven't had a Sam Adams IPA that's really kind of done me super proper. I've had a couple here and there that are quite nice. So I was really curious to see where this comes off. So, I mean, as far as looks go, it looks the part of a hazy IPA. Again, it's probably a little bit lighter than when it's coming off on camera. Let's dive into the nose. I mean, that's fruit juice, man. That is like straight up fruit juice. It very much rings of a traditional hazy IPA in that kind of almost like treehousey kind of way, in that bubble gummy kind of sweet citrus kind of thing going on. Nice bursting citrus notes in here, but not overly pithy, not overly bittering. It has that really nice, fresh, organic kind of orange to it, in combination with that soft little bubblegummy kind of ester on it, and a really nice sweetness. It's true to its form. It's not trying to be something overly bittering. It has this nice sweetness to it, so it's trying to be a New England IPA, and honestly, on the nose, it gives me everything I want from a really well-made New England style IPA, but it's non-alcoholic beer, which is the funniest part. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, you give me this beer, you give it to me as a mystery beer, on the nose, I don't think I peg it as a non-alcoholic beer. None of that doughiness that typically accompanies a lot of these hazy IPAs. None of that kind of like in combination with the doughiness, the hops can get a little bit weird. Like everything comes off a little bit raw, for the lack of a better term. Here, you're just getting a big burst of orange. You're getting a nice, rich kind of citrus in combination with that little bit of bubblegummy vibes. Let's actually just dive in. Cheers. That's delicious. It is. It is. And that's kind of the thing. And at the beginning, I said I really wanted to get this review in for the Dry January NA month. And this is the reason, because I think this is, by far and away, without a doubt, the best non-alcoholic beer I've ever had. Hands down. It's not even close. And I've had some really good ones. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that Athletic has been doing, more specifically their pilot program, which I ordered a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff in my fridge right now. I have a Shores beer, a little smoke jammer. We're probably going to move into February with some of these NA beers because I think they're too good not to review. But, man, this is damn tasty stuff. Two Roots even. Their hazy stuff was nice, but some of their other stuff was really, really good, from their pills to or the Hellas, I'm sorry, to that kind of pastry beer they had. Quite nice. But this one really does take the cake for me because of how authentic it tastes when it comes to just a straight up hazy IPA. So let's run through it. Aromatically, as we already talked about, spot on. Mouthfeel wise, you're getting a nice, rich, sultry mouthfeel. It's not turbid. It's not dense. It's not super kind of just hefty, but it's nice. It's kind of somewhere slightly above what you'd expect from a hazy pale ale. Something right below kind of like a 7% and change kind of regular hazy IPA. I think that's a really tall order. The mouthfeel is really hard to nail on a lot of these non-alcoholic beers, and they do a wonderful job here. It is the first thing that really does kind of hit you with a lot of these beers. A lot of these non-alcoholic beers is the mouthfeel, and here you just don't really get that kind of drop off. Flavor-wise, it is citrus through and through. It follows up nose, but there is a little bit of bittering there. It's almost like those New England style IPAs that really do try to kind of kill all the bittering, but just kind of stop short of that. I actually like that more. Zero bitterness, so you get a nice small fluttering bitterness on top of this big gobs and gobs of orange, tangerine, nectarine, mandarin, orange, running the gamut of a lot of different kind of orange flavors, with this nice kind of bit of green, a bit of pithiness that adds a subtle little bittering, enough to kind of counteract it, counterbalance that big, rich, juicy portion of the show, which I think actually lends itself even more to being kind of a regular IPA as opposed to an NA IPA. And when you combine it with the mouthfeel and then just kind of have that dollop, that little creme de la creme on top, to where you get that little bit of bubblegummy vibes, slightly a little bit of bubblegummy vibes, what I assume is from a yeast ester. I think, again, hands down, without a doubt, the best. Not just this, let's put it this way. It's the best non-alcoholic beer I've ever had. Hands down. It's the best hazy IPA I've had from Sam Adams. Like, maybe the Rebel Raw is the original OG. Like, they would ship it overnight to, like, people who write about beer. They would ship them overnight in a cold bag, and you get them, and they'd be, like, a day old, and they're just bursting at the seams of flavor. You're talking about a triple IPA, 10% and change. Maybe that, Utopias. Well, that's not an IPA, but I'm saying just beer-wise in general, it's probably one of my more favorite Sam Adams beers, regardless of non-alcoholic or not. But as far as just the NA realm goes, and as far as the Sam Adams kind of hazy realm goes, regularly available, let's put it that way, realm goes, it's the best one they've made. And honestly, this beer is going to find a common and regular rotation in my fridge. It is. I will buy this beer you're talking about. I think it's like $8-9 a sixer. I think I will buy this hazy IPA for as long as it's this damn tasty. I know it's kind of kooky, man. New England style IPA, no alcohol, what do you want with it? But really, I mean, one of the things that's kind of, I did this whole kind of dry January, dry holidays, is kind of reset my drinking habits. I like to drink beer. I've always said this before, if there was some way I could take a pill, or some way I could take you know, take something that would actually take away my drunkenness. If I drink too much, I would love that. I don't like getting drunk. You know, but I enjoy some beers, so that's why I really gravitate towards low ABV beers in general. So I, you know, have 5 or 6 of them with still regaining control. And I think non-alcoholic beers, especially with how far they've come over the past couple of years, have really kind of bridged that gap. You don't really need to go super low ABV. Drink whatever you want. Have 3 or 4 big double IPAs over the course of a night if you really want to get it hard. But you can kind of filter these in the process, and that's kind of where these beers really lie for me. Now, when you have the added bonus of them being this damn tasty, of being this damn delicious, and just drinking the way a normal IPA would, you're kind of just like, again, to bring it back to the old school massive beers, Mount Rushmore status. It would be the #1 face on that mountain in a very, very tasty way. Yeah. I really want to do mystery beers with these. I want to send these to people as mystery beers. Like, send them, like, a bunch of mystery beers and just slide this one in there and see what people think. Because I really don't think someone would think this is a non-alcoholic beer. I don't think that's just because I've been drinking NA beers over the past month or so. I just think it's that good. And a very tasty beer. And like I said, something I definitely wanted to get in here. Just a Haze. Sam Adams Brewing. Just really crush it on this one. And honestly, like I said, one of, if not the best, Hazy, or in general, near beers that I've had ever. So there you go. Reviews in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying some nice, delicious NA beer right now. Another week or so, we'll be back on the regular beers. Still going to be hitting the NA beers from time to time, so there you go. Miss doing these. I haven't done a review in a couple weeks, so feel kind of rusty, but it's going up anyway. So hopefully, guys, put it up tonight, too. This will go up to the 26th of January. We're going to do same day. How about that? So hopefully, guys, enjoy this. Hopefully, enjoying some NA right now. See you next time. Cheers.